Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome on in. Welcome to Sunday Night Live. My name is Tanya, your host, or TitaniumBuilt. You could call me either or if you're new to the channel. If you are not new and you're coming back, thank you for joining me for yet another upload or another live, I guess you would say. So, how's everybody's weekend been? Is the weather a bit better for anybody else? Still about the same here in Ohio. Crappy. Just crappy rainy, but not compared to nearly as bad as the rest of the world. So we'll take what we can get around here. But hopefully everybody's safe. Everybody's with their families. I've seen a lot of people that are displaced. They're looking for their loved ones. I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't know the first thing to do if my house was under that much water. I guess you just wait it out. Like, really, I mean, good thing that I live in Ohio, I guess. I mean, we get tornadoes here, but very few and far between. And we'll get like one bad snow of the season, and that's it. Like, I think that's why people probably stay in this state. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Ladybug. Because a lot of people come and they never leave. We never end up moving. Mary Beth, how are you today? Hey, Pooh Bear. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Nash Native, don't worry, we'll get you called up. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys have heard of the Quinton Simon case, and then put a 2 in the chat if you haven't, if you didn't follow it. Maybe there are people that don't know about it. But we are going to, we're going to go over all of it. So, hey, Country Thing. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Stephanie. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Lenora. Taylor's here. One shot. Good evening. Hey, Aries. That's where Aries, that's where Miss Ashley's from. Yeah, we saw her work. Her work was on Twitter. She's like, that's my work. And it was underwater. I was like, what? Hey, Granny, welcome in. Phillies won 95 games. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I just saw Phillies and I was like, oh, what you talking about? Someone came. Who was it last night? Someone had a Eagles, like player or whatever, on there. And I was like, I love the Eagles. And then everybody just took off with that. And you guys were talking about birds. And I was like, I love that. I love that. So Ladybug said too, Catherine. Hey, Sleuthy, how you doing? Hey, Mike, welcome in. Hey, Megs, welcome in, everybody. If I didn't say your name, I saw you. I'm here. I see you. Did the Eagles lose? It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. I haven't watched any games the last couple of years. I don't know why. That's not like me. My father would be very disappointed right now. He was a huge Eagles fan. But tonight we're going to talk about Quinton Simon. This case, I was in true crime for about a month and a half, I think, when this case happened. And I wasn't prepared for what YouTube was about. I mean, we all have seen what YouTube is about with the Sebastian Rogers case. I think with Quinton's case, people actually, like, I don't know, it might have been worse when it comes to actually, like, people, like, because they were outside of the home. Like, I mean, there were so many content creators just like right there outside of the home, compared to like Sebastian's case. They're mostly staying behind the computer. You know what I mean? There's only like a few people that are actually out there, like, that are able to be out there actively searching for him. But in Quinton's case, it was like everyone decided to travel there. I got it, but I did it. And now I do. I'll have to look. Thanks, Lucy. Yeah, they found that poor baby in the landfill. I was looking up, so I have her court documents up here. I went ahead and went through those. I went through the whole thing. I was like, did I go through the whole thing? But I thought I would start you guys with, who is Leilani Simon? You know, like really, who is she? So we'll start with this one and then we'll make our way backwards, kind of. Or actually, let's make our way frontwards. We'll start in the beginning. So I found this and it's called The Graveyard Shift, and it's their website that I'm using. And this is like an excerpt, like, you know, one of the news articles from there. But Leilani, this is Leilani Simon. And I figured we would just go through it instead of me doing like telling you about the case, like in my words. I figured I would read them here because it might be a little more in depth. Because there was a lot of stuff going on prior to Quinton coming up missing. And at first, there was people were speculating. People were speculating that it could be Leilani, but when it was like right in the initial like couple days, it seemed like people weren't really going after her at first. It was just her actions afterwards that really sent people, I think, over the edge. But it says this case that shocks the conscious. It goes against the grain of normal society of human nature and what should be a mother's unconditional love for her child. On October 5th, 2022, Leilani Simon, 22 at the time, her boyfriend Daniel Youngkin, and Simon's 3 children resided with Simon's parents, Thomas and Billy Joe Howe. And that was at their home at the 500 block of Buckhalter Road in Savannah. Their house was up for sale too. I wonder if it still is. I wouldn't want to. No. You couldn't pay me enough. I wouldn't even want to walk in there, let alone live there, you know? I'm cool. Did I put this up on the thing? I'm like, did I even put this up? I didn't even put this up and I'm reading it. Like, didn't even put it up. Yeah, yeah. I have that. I had it up and then I have like a bunch of different like news excerpts, like from October 18th of 2022 until now. And it's like all in a nice little bow here. I was like, wow, they really covered this case. But I mean, I think everybody did. I think we all did. If we weren't covering the actual case, people were covering the craziness outside of the house, like outside of the home. People were covering both. Like me, I was doing both. I was shook. I couldn't believe people acted like that. Like now that I'm on YouTube for 2 years, nothing really surprises me, but that surprised me. So this is the timeline. November 21st, 20th, 2021. So this is the year before, prior. Leilani Simon was working at Love's truck stop off of I-95 just north of Fayetteville, North Carolina, when she was arrested and charged with a felony for stealing 2 packs of cigarettes, a bag of popcorn, and a bottle of lemonade from her employer. I completely had forgotten about that until I read this article earlier. I was like, oh yeah, she did get arrested for that. The judge sentenced Leilani to 1 year probation, 48 hours of community service, and approximately $400 in fines. As part of her probation conditions, she was ordered to not commit any crimes for 12 months. Wow. She was really close, wasn't she? Wow. She was so close. This happened in October. This happened November 2021. Quinton's case happened October 5th, 2022. She really was like working on that tight budget. She was like, wow, what the heck, Leilani? I didn't know about the 12 months for her to not commit any crimes. Maybe I did. It's just, it's just going to bring back a lot of memories. September 7th, 2022, Leilani called police to report that she'd been assaulted by her mother, Billy Joe Howe. And their relationship, that's a whole damn life in itself, I feel like. But I feel like that was like an enabling kind of relationship, more of a friend than a parent in a way. So this is the copy of the police report. And it goes over the alleged assault. It says there was act committed with children present, yes. Were children involved? No. Was the victim advised of available remedies and services. Yes. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you did that. Separation. Police have taken action. Separate them. They were using abusive language. Oh, man. Can you imagine arguing with your mom like this? I mean, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to change the page. So on Wednesday, this is 9/7/2022. Quinton goes missing, presumed dead, October 5th. So I don't know if this was like the power keg that was like, setting everything into motion, and poor Quinton she got so mad that she did something to him, and maybe she was redirecting her anger from her mother onto her child. But either way, it's disgusting behavior. I mean, 20-month-old. So they responded for a call for a domestic dispute at 535 Buckhalter Road. Upon my arrival, I made contact with the complainant, identified as Leilani Simon. Leilani said her and her mother had an altercation regarding some clothes that were in the wash. Leilani said she removed her clothes so that her mother could use the washer. Leilani said they had a disagreement verbally about how things were, and she said her mother got in her face and shoved her. Leilani said she hit a wall and felt that her elbow was red from the wall. Leilani said her two kids were around, and said she called to put a stop to the issue between her and her mom, as she said she did not want her kids around that. Leilani's elbow was red. However, there was no signs of bruising. Yeah, I mean, you can rub your elbow red. I made contact with the mother, identified as Billy Howe. Miss Howe said she was having issues with her daughter, as she said she wanted to use her washer and it was in use. Miss Howe said she was frustrated as she takes care of the household and pays all of the bills. Kick your daughter out. I mean, that would have been the best thing to do in this situation. I mean, she's an adult. Miss Howe said she was frustrated as she takes care of, Miss Howe said her daughter lives there, 2 kids, and the daughter's boyfriend. Miss Howe said she got in an argument with her daughter, Leilani, and said that her daughter screamed at the top of her lungs in her face. She shoved her. Leilani said she was on probation and did not want the conflict to escalate, and said that was why she called, and that's why she called. Leilani said she did not want her mother to face charges. Leilani was advised she could go to the courthouse again and attempt to get warrants taken out if she wished. Leilani said she understood. Miss Howe's son came to remove her from the situation. Miss Howe agreed to separate from the situation for some time to avoid conflict. Miss Howe said she may have to evict them. Miss Howe's son advised that his mother was tired, as she said the daughter has a history of stealing from the mother and buying rugs with the money, and says the problem goes back very far. Miss Howe left the scene with her son for at least a few days. So she left. I'd have been like, you better leave. What do you mean? I got custody of your kids. You leave, Hey, Jensen. Clean and listen. Oh, I do that during the day. I clean and listen. So this was this is not even a month prior. So the next day, Billy Joe Howe filed to evict her daughter and Youngkin from the home. In the filing, Howe stated the couple damaged her property and that no one is living in peace. Howe had legal custody of Quinton and his older brother since Quinton was 5 months old. Leilani recently moved back to her mother's home and soon after gave birth to a baby girl. The 3 children each have a different father. This is the eviction notice. I was trying to think of the words. So she did serve her with an eviction notice, the next day? So I mean, ugh. So September 16th, that brings us to September. Remember, this happened on October 5th. So on September 16th, Leilani Simon learned about the eviction notice. You know, she was probably pissed. I mean, I don't know why you would be, though. I mean, really. So on or about September 26th, Leilani Simon received the eviction notice. September 28th, the state of Georgia ordered Leilani to start paying child support to her mother. So now she's got to pay child support. There's a lot of stuff, stacking up here. She was due to begin making payments of $150 per month. What's that going to buy? That ain't going to cover diapers. I don't know how they get these numbers, but However, the order stated the amount would be lowered to 100 if the number of children decreased. What? I don't remember ever reading that. Do you think she read that and was like, well, if I just eliminate one of my kids, I don't have to pay money? Like, I could see her being that dumb. So if there were less, well, there's not going to be a decrease in kids unless the father takes the child and then she'd have to pay them, I don't, man, okay. If the number of children decrease, I don't know how many pages this is. This is just about the default order for paternity and child support. And then that's on the 21st of September. Then we get to October 5th at 5:29 a.m. This is Diana. Remember her, if you're familiar with the case, this is the babysitter. Billy Joe ran up in this woman's home. I mean, I think I have it on video. I'll be able to find it if not in like 2 seconds. I mean, this case is nuts. She goes. The reason why we're doing this case tonight is because Leilani will be going on trial. October the 9th starts jury selection. No more hearings. They had one scheduled, I saw on her thing, for like the 17th. And if that was like speak now or forever hold your peace kind of a meeting. So they didn't need to file anything else, I guess. So at 5:29, Diana McCarta received a text message from Leilani Simon, the mother of the 2 children. So Leilani has 3 kids. Billy Joe has custody of 2 of them, the boys. She decides, even though she doesn't have custody of her children, she's going to call the babysitter and cancel the babysitter for that day, because the reason why the kids are there is because Billy Joe was out of town. That's what Billy Joe says. So it just says the text was brief, stating her services would not be needed that day. And she babysat these kids every day. McCarta later told authorities the message was odd because she watched the kids even when their mother didn't work. Leilani's mother, Billy Joe Howell, was working out of town in Illinois when she learned Quinton was missing. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, Daniel, the boyfriend, he leaves to go to work. At 9 a.m., that's when the babysitter receives another text, and it says, this one from a grandparent asking if she knew the whereabouts of 20-month-old Quinton, who was last seen at 6 a.m. by Youngkin. Around 9:30, Leilani called 911 to report Quinton is missing. So from 6 a.m. to 9:30, you just looking around the house. I mean, what, you looking in the bathtub, like the closets? I mean, he's a 20-month-old. He wouldn't have gotten far, you wouldn't think. Around 9:30, that's when she calls him missing, and she says he was last seen wearing a light blue Sesame Street shirt and black pants. Police responded and began the search for Quinton. Several agencies participated in the initial search: Chatham County PD, Savannah Police, Liberty County Sheriffs, and the FBI utilizing horse patrols, canine helicopters, drones, officers on foot, and more. And they were. I was actually following, I think, Chatham County on Facebook during this time. So this is just like you can see here, the bloodhounds are on the ground. It says police are limiting foot traffic in the area so the dogs have as clean of a scent to work with as possible. And that's what they did in Sebastian Rogers' case too. And just keep in mind, you see how close these houses are to the road, right? There's no sidewalk, no public sidewalk. Okay, that dog's cute. That dog's really cute. Where'd I go? Oh, what was I? Scooted me down. So October 5th, Quinton goes missing. October 6th, police obtain a search warrant for Billy Joe Howell's residence. So the next day. And then on the 8th, the search continues with no leads available. I meant to pull this up in the beginning. So this is what went out. Missing from Buckhalter Road, Savannah, Georgia, missing since October 5th. Gender male, of course, race white, date of birth 20 months old, clothing description light blue, Sesame Street shirt, and black pants. That's what we were going with. So the internet really blew up with this case. You know, I mean, it really did. We didn't have a lot of information and no arrests were being made. And I think a lot of people couldn't comprehend that. So Quinton was last seen in the area of his home. Authorities are requesting the public's assistance with any information related to his whereabouts. Anyone with information regarding this individual is asked to contact Chatham County Police Department. Tipsters can remain anonymous. Very crazy. We're going to go back over here. So then that takes us to the 10th. So that's when they come back to the house for the second time and they drain the backyard swimming pool. They did have a swimming pool. I think at one point I was even like thinking in my head, like maybe he had gotten like into the pool and was stuck sort of like in the drainage something, you know, but they drained the pool. And so we found out pretty quickly that he was not in the pool. So law enforcement recover evidence they believe will move the case forward. It's this the first sign that a criminal case is likely. And that's October the 11th. October the 12th, police inform the family they believe Quinton is dead and that Leilani is the only suspect in the child's disappearance and death. So this happens on the 5th. All of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but 7 days later, they're not even like, they're like, no. Okay, even with Elijah Vu's case, they still haven't charged them yet. I've been looking. But within a week, they were calling like no one. I mean, she had a target right there because that's when everyone was like, she did it. Which, I mean, we all think she did it. But in a court of law, she's still presumed innocent until, proven guilty. But everybody was down there. Right in front of her house. Yelling the most, doing the most. Getting arrested, had the police called out there 30 times in like 30 days. People were going up and touching the home. Like just really just some savage kind of stuff. Like I understand you want answers and you want her to be arrested. I was right there with you. But we can't go up and like knock on the windows and stuff, guys. It's kind of against the law to be doing that. But I mean, people were mad. So then on my birthday, look at that. Leilani appeared in court on the 17th pertaining to custody hearing related to her other children. And on the 18th, evidence leads police to believe Quinton's body was thrown in a dumpster and then unknowingly transported to the landfill via garbage truck. Law enforcement began the painstaking search of the landfill. I remember that. Look at there it is. 1.2 million. Because I don't think people believe me when I say that. Every time we talk about this case, I tell you they went through 1.2 million pounds of trash. Looking for that little boy. That's determination. I mean, that's determination. And then you got people like Bullhorn Betty in front of the, sheriff's department just yelling, doing the mostest, just doing the mostest. I don't even think they were there that day that she went out there and protested, though, that time. I think they had that, it was like a holiday weekend or something. Yeah, it's a lot of trash. Later in the evening, as the FBI and local police were searching a Chatham County landfill for Quinton Simon's remains, Leilani and her mother, Billie Jo Howe, and a few friends were seen at Stingray's, a Tybee Island beach bar. Tybee Island is 18 miles from Savannah proper. Now, I'm going to go over to these videos so I can show you a couple of these. I'll play this one here. I'll actually go back. Well, no, we can just do that. Okay, so these are I'm gonna try to go in kind of order as they were released.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Dawn Baker.
And I'm Mike Seelam. New details into the disappearance and death of 20-month-old Quinton Simon.
Now, police say they believe they will find the remains of Quinton Simon in a landfill. He is the toddler who went missing from his home almost 2 weeks ago.
Right now, multiple agencies are searching the landfill off of Little Neck Road, right near I-95. Police say the operation will include a team of searchers daily from the Chatham County Police Department and FBI, along with dozens of support personnel. Tonight, our live team coverage of the search continues with our lead investigative reporter, Jessica Savage, and we have Camille Syed. We begin with Jessica, who has the latest now from police.
Jessica, what did they have to say during the news conference this afternoon?
The search of the landfill marks a new turn of events in the exhaustive search efforts police have put in to try to find the remains of Quinton. Now, we do know that this is
Now watch, this is how you do a search.
a painstaking effort. It's something that they say it's not going to happen overnight necessarily. Here's a look at those efforts that are underway right now.
An extensive search effort is underway inside the waste management landfill off Little Neck Road. Drone video shows investigators sifting through debris using machines and their hands. They're searching for the remains of 20-month-old Quinton Simon, who was last seen on October 5th.
We know that this is going to be a physically, mentally, and emotionally grueling task for our investigators and team.
Chatham County Police Chief Jeff Hadley explained how investigators believe Quinton ended up in the landfill.
We believe that he was placed in a specific dumpster at a specific location, and it was brought here by regular means of disposal. I have every belief that we will find his remains here at the landfill.
Search efforts began this morning. The FBI says they're focused on a specific area of the landfill. Dozens of FBI personnel are involved in the physical search.
This will not be quick, it will not be easy, and the outcome is uncertain. As the chief said, we want justice for Quinton, and we want to find him a proper resting place.
It's been 13 days since Quinton's mother reported him missing from the family home on Buckhalter Road.
Complained about her 1-year-old son is missing. She woke up, her door was open. But he's unable to open a door. I think someone came in and took him.
As of today, she remains a suspect.
No one has been charged.
Why has no one been charged?
Because we're not ready to charge anyone yet. We still have work to do. We still have an investigation to do, and we are not going to do anything preemptively that would harm future prosecution.
While the search efforts for today have ended at the landfill, they will resume tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and continue every weekday until they find Quinton's remains. Right now, I'm outside the mobile command center, which you can see behind me, where the FBI and Chatham County Police are stationed at Scottsdale Park. At Quinton's home on Burkhalter Road, a memorial grows. That's where
Oh, go back. Oh, hold on.
until they find Quinton's remains. Right now, I'm outside the mobile command center, which you can see behind me, where the FBI and Chatham County Police are stationed at Scottsdale Park. At Quinton.
I just wanted to show you guys this because, like, when people descended on their little property here, like, they were literally standing in someone's yard, and these people are better than me because I would have been in jail if. I mean, we had Bullhorn Betty, Justin Fraud, Molly Golightly, Dolly Vision, JLR. Who else? I know I'm missing some, but there were so many people. Like, what? You've got Dolly walking around in a freaking ninja Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mask. Don't ask me why. I don't even want to know. Saying that he wants to be Leilani's boyfriend, this, that, and the other. I mean, just like sick stuff. Like, this person's supposed to be accused of unaliving her son, right? We can't find him. We're looking for him. And what are we doing out front? Hollering, yelling, saying, if it's your last dollar, I'll take it. I swear to you, I heard that. I swear to you. I heard that on a live and I about fell out of my chair. I think we might have been live when we heard that. Oh, I hope we were. So we can go back and find that. Oh, it was so bad.
Home on Burkhalter Road, a memorial grows. That's where Camille Syed joins
Share voices.
us live right now. Now, Camille, how are neighbors reacting to the news today?
Jessica, hearing every update in this search for little.
You know, these people cared so much that they were putting up billboards of like themselves pretty much like connected to the fence. And they didn't have a picture of Quinton on there. Not a picture of Quinton, but they had a picture of themselves. Make that make sense.
Quinton has been
that's another person. Chronicles of Olivia.
Heartbreaking for people living here near Quinton's home. These are people who either knew Quinton or saw Quinton in the neighborhood. So hearing that police say that they believe they know
Chronicles of Olivia's mother.
Exactly where his body is and that Quinton was put in a dumpster. It's devastating. I also spoke to Quinton's grandmother. It was a short conversation. As you can imagine, after hearing this update, people living here are feeling like this is a nightmare that keeps getting worse. But Quinton has touched thousands of hearts in Chatham County and across the country. You can see that in this memorial in front of his home, that just keeps growing with teddy bears, balloon, books, and more dropping off a teddy bear earlier today around the time police gave their update.
This is before all the fighting over the memorial.
Melissa Genetempo got emotional learning where police are now searching for Quinton's remains.
That literally breaks my heart, you know. I mean, in the back of my heart, I kept wishing, you know, maybe some family members got this kid, and then they're going to come out and say, oh, you know, you always wish for the best. But in the end, I'd rather know than not know, you know. It'll bring closure, but it's going to take a lot of time to heal that pain.
And these neighbors that we're hearing from, they have so many questions, but police have said they have to be very careful with how they handle this case. Now, we'll continue to bring you more information as we look.
Should have just yelled at a bullhorn. This is what we've got. Oh, yeah. And that's where the shirt came from that Betty was wearing the one time. And I thought it was directed at Katie Proudfoot, which I stand on that. She wore that with intent. It said, remember it said something about you weren't there. What, Mom, why weren't you there for me or something like that? Or I don't know. Oh, Ministry of Defense. I heard she's trying to get custody of the other two. I was going to go through those videos. She took her daughter to, I mean, she took her daughter to the FBI and was like, here. I mean, I can only say good things about somebody that does that. I mean, you know, for real. Like, I might not agree with Billy in a lot of ways, but that's one thing. I mean, whoa. She was like, I'm dropping your ass off. She did too. She took her daughter, took her and, you know what I mean, dropped her off with the authorities. That's what she needed. You know, she knew. Oh, I wanted to show you another video actually, before we go back over there. So. Where the heck did I put the video? Okay. So this is police called to disturbance involving Quinton Simon's family on Tybee Island. So that's what we were just talking about. So let me share this with you.
Yeah, Max, Tybee police say they responded to a disturbance call, an anonymous tip in front of the Sandcastle Inn earlier today involving some of Quinton Simon's family members, including Quinton's grandmother,
Who got the picture there?
Howell. Now, police say no charges were filed, but apparently there was some yelling back and forth. Now, I've also spoke to people who say they work here on Tybee Island. They say Quinton's family members were staying at a motel on the island and have since checked out of that motel. Chatham County Police say they are not paying for any lodging for Quinton's family, including if they're staying out on Tybee Island. Leilani is not in witness protection or anything like that where police would pay for her lodging. I've also heard from several people on the island who say they saw Quinton's mother and grandmother at a nearby restaurant late last night. And again, police say Leilani Simon is the prime suspect in Quinton's disappearance and death. They continue saying they're investigating this case and have repeatedly said that they will not do anything that would jeopardize future prosecutions in this case. Police also say they don't believe Leilani is a flight risk at this time. Reporting live.
Probably didn't have any money to like be a flight risk. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe, and they knew her mother wasn't going to help her. I don't know. For them to say that she's not a flight risk, I mean, they got to have reason for that. So where were we? Okay. On October the 18th through November 18th, police continue pawing through mountains of garbage, searching for Quinton's remains. And during that time, that's when all hell was breaking loose. So November 18th, 2022, police discover possible human remains in the Chatham County landfill. Testing confirmed the remains were indeed human. Authorities are await DNA test results to confirm the remains are those of Quinton Simon. And then on the 21st, that's when she's arrested. She's charged with murder, concealing a death, false statements in matters of government, and false reports of a crime. Believe it was 19 charges that they got her with. Let me double check. 19. Yeah. Because she lied. And she lied. And she lied. I mean, there's a lot of, a lot of her arrest or charges are, making a false statement, things of that nature, because she just lied. So on November the 23rd, that's when she had her first court hearing, and she didn't appear. She was represented by a court-appointed judge or attorney. And then November 28th, this is the last of this article, but the FBI Atlanta confirmed through DNA analysis that the remains found in the landfill belonged to Quinton Simon. As a result, the Chatham County Police Department have ceased all search and recovery operations at the landfill, and officials are currently removing command post facilities from the staging area at L. Scottsdale Park. And then on November 2nd, 2022, Quinton Simon's grandfather, Henry Dale Moss, 61, was found lying off the road on Highway 23 in Burke County. He had been struck by a vehicle that fled the scene. A hit-and-run driver. Moss was pronounced dead at the scene. Quinton's paternal grandmother, Brandy, died a week earlier. Yeah. Quinton's dad lost both of his parents within a week of each other during all of this. So, I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. They, oh man, the craziness that just surrounded this case. I have those one videos up. I wonder if there's any in those. It does, yeah. 4 people arrested right there. Let's go to this one. So this is October 23rd. And is this a video or is it? Okay, it might not be a video. It might just be an article. So on October 22nd, that's when this was published, Chatham County Police say they arrested 4 people outside of the home of missing 1-year-old Quinton Simon. Police say they were called out twice Friday night to Buckhalter Road for complaints of people being disorderly. That's putting it lightly. 3 people were blocking the driveway of the toddler's home, preventing people from being able to leave, according to officers. Officials say the 3 people refused to move out of the roadway, so they arrested William Garrett, Wanda Boatwright, and John Boatwright. All 3 are charged with disorderly conduct. Upon learning about the arrest on Buckhalter Road, Chief Hadley asked the CCPD Office of Professional Standards to review the incident in its entirety. That review will take place this week. Chatham County Police also confirmed Sunday afternoon that a 4th person was arrested Saturday night for banging on the windows and doors of the missing toddler's home. And you know what's fudged up about that story? She was coaxed to do that. She was very, I guess, impressionable woman. I don't know. She was one of those people, you know, you jump off a bridge, would she do it? She'd do it. Yeah, she would. She would do it with you. She had Betty in one side of her ear, Dolly in the other side, right? Going, go up and touch the house. Go up and touch the house. If you get arrested, we'll get you out. We'll bail you out. We'll bail you out. She got arrested. She was crying. She had kids and everything. It was sad. Guess who didn't bail her out? Nobody bailed her out. She stayed in jail. Nobody bailed her out. No one wanted to even help her after they coaxed her to go touch the house because they were too afraid to do it themselves. Make that make sense. Okay. Oh, what's that? I don't know where I was. Oh, that was, dang it. I just signed into all that. That was for Leilani's court documents. Like signed me out for some reason. That's okay though. So that wasn't a video like I thought it was. Here it is. Okay, so this is the Quinton Simon interview. This is like the interview that Leilani did. Poor me. She discusses harassment and the search for her son. And this is the first time she spoke like on camera. And this is the first time we got to see her like speaking on camera. So I didn't believe her. I didn't believe her.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us for the News at 11. I'm Dawn Baker. Leilani Simon, the mother of missing Chatham County toddler Quinton Simon, talked to WTOC today for the first time since he was reported missing nearly 3 weeks ago. Chatham County Police and the FBI believe Quinton is dead, and they are searching a local landfill for his remains. Police say Leilani is the only suspect in his disappearance and death. WTOC's Shay Schrader spoke exclusively to Leilani today.
I spoke with Leilani, Quinton's mother, about a number of things, including her status as the only suspect in her son's disappearance and what life has been like for her and her family in the 3 weeks since he was reported missing. I also spoke with her about what she remembers from that morning.
My kids woke up to me screaming, "Where's Quinton?" and running through the house. I ran and looked everywhere, inside, outside, just started screaming for help.
Leilani reported Quinton missing around 9 a.m. on the morning of October 5th. Since then, Chatham County Police and the FBI say they believe he's dead and are searching for his remains at a local landfill. Police say Leilani is the prime and only suspect in his disappearance and death, though she hasn't been charged with anything.
I'm here. I've been here every day since this. I am not running and I'm not hiding. And if something does come up that I am at fault, I will take myself to that police station.
No need. Your mom did.
And I will walk with her.
Leilani and Billy tell me they get updates in little Quinton's case mostly from watching the news. They spend their days waiting for
mostly from watching the news. Stop lying. You've got 15 YouTubers outside of your house. That's how you're getting your news. I would be too. I'd be on every channel looking for them.
Phone call with hopes there will be answers on the other end.
All we want is justice for Quinton Simon. That's it. We want justice for Quinton.
At whatever cost it is. We don't care the cost.
We want answers just like everybody else.
Where's my baby? What do you mean I want to answer? No. Where's my child? Who has my child? Have you seen my child? What? This, I don't know.
At the end of it all,
I think Billy as a mom knew. I mean, this is the second her son was in prison or is in prison for the same charges. I mean, imagine having two. You have a boy and a girl, and they're both in jail, prison for unaliving.
We love you, baby Q, my little monkey, and we want him home.
Chatham County Police and the FBI have been searching the landfill for Quinton's remains for around 1 week, but haven't announced any findings. Police also haven't announced any information about arrests or charges, but they do say that Leilani Simon is still their only suspect. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Reporting in Chatham County, Shay Schrader, WTOC News.
And
what other does she case does Shay cover? There was another case. She looks like something newer. I feel like. I don't know. So, okay, that was that video I wanted to show you. There's a bunch of videos in here. I mean, like, look at this, a ton. But we don't need to look through all of them, but we will look over most of them. Let's see what else I have up here, too, to show you. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to read you. Okay. This came out just the other day. Let me see the date. I'm kidding. Come out a month ago. Just kidding. But I'm going to take and pin this other site. That way I know where we're at. I was looking for Nerdy Addict, his drone footage, but I couldn't find it, Sleuthy. I don't know if you're still in here. I was like trying to type it in. I found some posts that he had made on Twitter, but not that. Because I bet he has good footage. We were actually looking at his stuff. What was it, last night? Yeah. On Twitter, just the storm stuff. Oh. Leilani Simon, the Georgia mother accused of murdering her toddler in 2022, returned to court last week as key evidence in the case was reviewed. Now, when I tell you, like, there has not been a lot of news on Leilani Simon, like, since her arrest, there hasn't. There really hasn't. There hasn't been very many court hearings. I think she's had maybe a few. And one of them was like her initial arraignment. She wasn't there. She's been in court twice that I remember, like seeing her. One, I think both times she's wearing a mask. One is like the floral one, and then the second one she's in like her jail garb. Leilani's like, early 20s? Let me see, actually. I want to say like 22. Yeah, she was 22 when this happened, so she's like 24 now. Very young. Yeah. It says her highly anticipated trial for the death of her 20-month-old son, Quinton Simon, is set for October the 9th. The state submitted 7 pieces of evidence, including conversations between Simon, detectives, witnesses, and her ex-boyfriend, Daniel Youngkin, arguing the jury should review this material during the trial. Judge Tammy Stokes is currently reviewing the evidence. And I like Tammy Stokes, Judge Tammy Stokes. I think she's been very fair. Newsweek reached out to Chatham County District Attorney's Office. They said they cannot comment on pending cases at this time. Robert Piercy, Simon's defense lawyer, argued the state's evidence fails to address matters directly related to the crime. I think that it's because they can't say how he died. The ultimate question in this case is, did the defendant commit the crime that's alleged? Irrelevant to the ultimate question is all this personal stuff, of which, frankly, our position is the state's offering it just to make her look unstable and bad. No, she does that fine on her own. Newsweek reached out to him about pieces of evidence submitted. However, he said, I am not at liberty to discuss the posture of the case or the evidence submitted by the state of Georgia. Oh, yeah, because it's probably a lot. Look at that. Quinn and Elijah do remind me alike. They do. I think it's like the eyes and the hair or something about. I don't know. But they do. We were talking about that when we were talking about we were talking about Elijah Vu's case. Just he does remind me a lot alike. According to the indictment, and I do have the indictment, and I even highlighted it for you guys. If she goes through this whole thing, though, maybe I won't have to. According to the indictment, the night before her son's death, Simon met with a drug dealer and used an unspecified rug. Simon's boyfriend, Danny Youngkin, last saw the child alive around 6 a.m. When Simon woke up later that morning, she found the boy missing and believed someone had entered his room and taken him. She did not report him missing until 9 a.m., and the search for her son began on October 5th. Now, if you have multiple kids in your home, why would they just take one? Why would, why wouldn't they take 2? I don't know. That just, why take him over the other child? Those are questions I would have as an investigator. On October 12th, it says Simon is the only one person charged, even though her boyfriend claims he last saw the toddler alive. On October 12th, Chatham County Police announced they believed the child was dead, Quinton, and identified his mother as the primary suspect. By October 18th, investigators indicated someone had likely disposed of Quinton Simon's body in a dumpster at the Azalea trailer park home place. And I can read through that too. So it says here, after 30 days of searching through 1.2 million pounds of trash, law enforcement officials discovered that what they believed to be human remains at the waste management landfill site in Chatham County on November 18th. Now, I am curious. This is just that it's how the human brain works. I don't want to see it, but I would like to know exactly how much they were able to recover of Quinton. I don't want to see it, but I am curious to know, what they were, what they found, and we'll probably find that out during trial. So the indictment alleges Quinton died on the morning of October 5th after Simon assaulted him with an unknown object, resulting in a serious bodily injury. The charges state she then disposed of his body in a trash bin outside a mobile home park approximately 1.5 miles from her home. Chatham County Police Chief Jeff Hadley, praised the FBI for their critical role in the investigation, stating the FBI's expertise was instrumental in solving this case and locating Quinton. Their expertise, manpower, and resources are unmatched, and we are tremendously grateful for the FBI's assistance. I mean, yeah, they were really going through the trash. They went through it meticulously. Like, so it says, the murder trial starts October 9th in the Chatham County Courthouse. Let me know if you'll be there. The Superior Court Administrator told Newsweek that the final hearing, originally scheduled for September 17th, has been canceled, and it had been. That's what I was looking up. I was looking back up her record because for some reason it like times you out after so long. Because I was curious to see if there was going to be any more court hearings before now in her trial, and there wasn't. There wasn't anymore. Let's see, where were we at? What's this? 3/26/24. So she's trying to get. It looks like she's Billy Joel's trying to get custody, but I'd have to read through the file to get more information. So let's go through. I'm just going to double check, make sure there's nothing in here. Yeah, so she is charged with 1 count of malice murder, 2 counts of felony, concealing the death of another, false report of a crime, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14 charges of making a false statement. You're in big trouble, Leilani. I don't know if there'll be cameras. I think there will. I think it's just not live streaming, but they're doing cameras. They said that there was no live streaming as far as I know, but I think that they will have like cameras in there, and then it'll just like come out maybe like after, which could work for us. Because if that's the case, I mean, because we do have a couple trials coming up. I have a whiteboard over here, so that's why I'm always looking over here if you're wondering. But we have Naresh Bhatt. He's going to start his stuff October the 8th already. They haven't even found Mansa, but he wants a speedy trial, so they have to do that for him. Then Sarah Boone is October the 7th at 9 a.m. for jury selection. And then we have Leilani on the 9th. So it's 7th, 8th, 9th. And that's all I got so far. Oh, sorry, Georgia. Sorry about that. I didn't see that. Right, Faith? So-called parents, like, now I don't know if I don't really know. Billy Joel how should have like custody of the kids? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a judge. Good thing. Good thing. Because I just I don't know. I was going to show you where so they took 2 of the attorneys off. It looks like Catherine and Robert. I don't know. But these are all of her court hearings. So she has a trial. She had the motions hearing. They canceled that. And then status was counsel only. And then her jury trial will start at 9 a.m. on the 9th. She's in a lot of trouble. Lots of trouble. But if there is something that gives me, a little bit of satisfaction, is seeing headlines like this. Leilani Simon moans about tough life in jail ahead of trial. Her life's hard. Look at this picture of Quinton. Look at that. That's like one of my favorite ones. That might be actually my favorite one of him. Oh, no, yeah, no, Pooh Bear, Chad Doberman took a plea. Right, bastard. I was gonna be there for that. Yeah, it was a surprise. It was a surprise, but I live streamed it, yeah. I think you hear me cussing in the background probably the whole time, I mean, really, in reality, but yeah. He got out of it. No DP, life in prison. You know, I'm like Chad Doberman, if there should have been someone that had to sit on a trial and go through everything, I'm glad he didn't because, like, for the family, but I wish he would have had to have just sat in there and he had to listen to all that. Nobody else, just him. So she's feeling some type of way. A Georgia mother accused of killing her 1-year-old son, then dumping him in the trash, has moaned about not getting enough TV time and going to bed hungry in jail. Well, she does look like she's gaining a little weight. Her neck looks bigger. Why does her neck look so big? Was her neck look... She doing neck exercises or something? I have no shame in making fun of her. No shame in that. There is no privacy, even in our cells. You're in jail. You don't get privacy anymore. You don't even get privacy when you go to the bathroom half the time. You know how you see those holding cells and the toilets are right there. She said, because there is a camera. There is no clock. The lights are on 24/7. Hey, we used to live in a time with no clocks. And they took away the colored pencils. Oh, hell, not the colored pencils. Not the colored pencils. They took away the colored pencils. Yeah. It says, Leilani Simon, 24, whined to the Post in an exclusive interview via her prison email. Oh, she's got a prison email. What the hell? A prison email? How do you get on the email list with Leilani Simon? What's her prison email? Does anyone know? I'll write her. Also, you want to talk about what you did? She wouldn't tell me nothing. We are only allowed TV and recreational time for a total of 2 hours a week. No, that's a lie. I don't believe that. Nope. Now the rec time, maybe the rec, like taking them out to the yard and like letting them get outside and stuff. But TVs, they always stay on in the jails. Man, people would be going nuts without their iPads and their. We know you have an iPad too, Leilani. They have iPads now, so don't act like we're dummies on the outside here. This didn't solve the fact that we have nothing to do in our cells beyond reading and tablet use, which can cost money. Well, if you wouldn't have unalived your 20-month-old, beautiful, precious baby boy and then threw him in the dumpster, you probably wouldn't be in prison or expected to go. She might want to get a jail job. I don't know how long you have to work in order to get like 1 minute of tablet time. I don't know how much. I'm sure that costs a lot to be chilling on the tablet. I mean, I didn't even know they had tablets until Alec Murdaugh. And he showed us that picture of him shirtless. Nobody needed to see that. She says, and since they feed us dinner at 3 or 4 p.m., we go to bed hungry every night when we have snacks in another unit. I don't think that it'd be a huge deal if you had like a snack before bed. Like if you had, let's say, a tray of food or whatever, and you had some like an orange or an apple, I don't know, or something on there. You could probably take that one piece of fruit, as long as you don't, harbor a bunch of fruit and make hooch out of it. I'm sure that you could have an orange, just as long as it's eaten by the time that the lights go out, That's what I mean. I don't know. Never been to Chatham County Jail, but I'm just assuming from what I've learned in school and stuff, I don't know, that never actually been to Georgia, that they wouldn't do that. So Simon's been in custody since her arrest in November 2022 related to the death of her son, Quinton Simon. She faces a litany of charges, including murder, concealing a death, falsely reporting a crime, and 14 separate counts of lying to investigators. Simon was the one to call 911 on the morning of October 5th of that year to report her 20-month-old son missing from his indoor playpen at their home in Savannah. I want to hear that call. That 911 call. I don't remember ever hearing that. That was never out. Detectives quickly honed in on a dumpster at Azalea Mobile Home Park where Simon lived, and more than a month later, the toddler's remains were discovered in a landfill by investigators after they spent weeks combing through thousands of tons of garbage for any trace of his remains. Prosecutors allege Simon beat her son with an object, causing cruel and excessive pain, leading to his death. I'm on PC, which is protective custody status, since I first arrived. Instead of housing me with other PC females where I could receive all the privileges they received, they decided to house me in medical. In medical, myself, and the other high-profile PC females have very little to help pass the time. The recreational yard is a concrete box with a concrete ceiling. Simon was deemed a flight risk and denied bail following her arrest. I mean, it doesn't sound too bad. You got your iPad during the day, cruise on your iPad, sitting in your jail cell, eating your food, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Snacks are in the other unit, but you can go over and get them during the day, it sounds like. And she gets to go out for rec. So she gets to play. She gets to talk to other inmates. These are all things that Quinton will never have the chance to do. He will never have the chance to talk to somebody. He'll never have the chance to eat a Pop-Tart or a freaking honey bun. But you will. You know, it's just crazy. She also claimed she does not have as many privileges as other high-profile inmates in protective custody, and accused the jail of punishing me for the crimes I'm accused of having committed, but declined to comment on the case before the trial, which is currently expected to take place before the end of the year. They immediately stripped me of my clothes, put me in a smock, and then put me in suicide cell, even though I never once said anything about being suicidal or implied it. Yeah, they did the same thing to Diddy right here. We don't want nothing to happen to you before trial. We want to make sure you're safe. That's all. We just want to make sure you're safe. Plus, everybody, they don't get thrown in a smock, but everybody gets stripped of their clothes when they go to jail. You're not that special. Simon told the Post at one point she had befriended another inmate, Angela Montgomery, who has since been convicted of shooting a woman and kidnapping her 6-week-old her old twin sons, and that she got in contact with Simon's mother to help her get out of solitary. I wonder if she ever really did get in contact with her. They had me in that cell for 9 days and didn't let me out until my mom went on the news about it. If I'm going to be in here, I'd like to be treated like any other PC who get all the privileges the way they're meant to. They get the TV all day. Yeah, I don't understand why she's not getting TV. Get to have their food commissary whenever they please. They have a clock and their lights don't go off entirely. They are dimmed considerably. Most of the officers are very professional, but some, not many, treat us like we are guilty until proven innocent instead of the other way around. At first, a full-scale search for Quinton as a missing child was mounted. However, after a thorough search of the home and surrounding neighborhood, Chatham County Police Chief Hadley said investigators believed the child was dead and named Simon as the sole suspect. Police and FBI agents soon focused their investigations on the landfill. And this is them talking about being them on, at the bar. So, downing shots of tequila. While, people are out looking for the kid. I don't understand it. And there's no excuse for that. So Leilani was arrested November 21st. Then we got December 2nd or 12th, and we've got Billy's arrest.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mike C.
And I'm Dawn Baker. We begin with breaking news. We've learned in the last half hour that the grandmother of Quinton Simon has now been arrested. WTOC's Shay Schrader joins us live outside the Chatham County Jail with more details. Shay, what can you tell us?
Billy Howell has been arrested, and on her booking report, it lists that she's being held by the juvenile court. Now, what we do know is that Billy has been involved in a custody case regarding Leilani Simon's other two children than Quinton Simon. That case was sealed from the public, and everybody involved in that case has been placed under a gag order, but the charge is for contempt of court. That is why she is being held by the juvenile court. This isn't in connection to Quinton's murder. That's very important to note. Right now, Billy's daughter, Leilani Simon, is also being held in this very same jail on charges of murder in connection to her son, Quinton Simon's death and disappearance. Billy has had sporadic contact with Leilani ever since she was arrested a couple of weeks ago, and today entering the same facility that her daughter was booked into just a couple of weeks ago. Details are limited at this time because that juvenile court case, again, is under a gag order, so WTOC has not been allowed into the courtroom, nor has any other media outlet in the area. The only folks that have been allowed in there are people directly involved with this case, but we will, of course, keep you updated. Again, Billy Howell being held in the Chatham County Detention Center by the Juvenile Court of Chatham County. Live in Chatham County, Shay Schrader, WTOC News.
She gave us the news. I wanted to actually, sorry, show you a different video. Show you like the newer ones. Media order hearing scheduled this week. I wanted to try to see if there was anything on here like showing us if, all right, here, judge bans live streaming. So I wonder what that means, like actual live streaming, or if that's going to mean like court TV could be in there, but they can't have like a live feed. Let's see what this says.
Well, new at 6, the case of a mother accused of killing her son in Chatham County was back in court today.
Leilani Simon is facing 19 charges for the death of her toddler, Quinton Simon. That includes felony murder. And today's news cameras were banned from the courtroom. But WTOC Shay Schrader was there and has all the details for us.
Now, Shay, they talked about a few important points as the case proceeds. What are those key parts?
Oh, never mind.
Couple of things, including what media access to the case will look like moving forward and whether evidence from Leilani's mother, Billy Howell, will make it into the courtroom. In a break from past hearings, District Attorney Shalana Cook Jones was part of the state's legal team today. Assistant District Attorney Tim Dean stated to Judge Tammy Stokes that the state objects to any recordings or live streaming of future proceedings in order to protect the privacy of Quinton Simon's two siblings, who he said were inextricably linked to the case. The defense also asked that any future recordings of the case be handled on a hearing-by-hearing basis. Their main concern with court being recorded, Leilani Simon's right to a fair trial. Judge Stokes ruled that there will be no live streaming of the case moving forward and that she'll make a ruling on whether media organizations can record on an individual basis. Billy Howell was also present in court today after being subpoenaed by the state to produce documents. She turned over 8 journals of Leilani's to the court that Leilani had written in while at a treatment center following her son's death. Judge Stokes will hold the journals and make a ruling on whether to quash the subpoena at a later time.
I want to know. I want the journal.
Judge Stokes also said today that the court has obtained DFAX documents pertaining to Billy Howell, Quinton Simon, Leilani Simon, her other 2 living children, and their fathers. Judge Stokes said that she's going.
Hold on a second. Whoa, 9? Didn't they say 9 notebooks? Or didn't they say 9 notebooks? She was only out for 6 weeks. She wrote that much. Oh, she wrote some stuff then, in my humble opinion. in my humble opinion. I think she might have wrote some things. But would you be that dumb to write it down to where it could be traced back to you? But I mean, I don't know. That sounds like you're trying to get something out. That's not
going to look over those.
This happened on October 5th. She was arrested by November 21st.
Records and decide whether they'll be admissible in court. Now, there are no more hearings scheduled in this case at this time, but WTOC will keep a close eye on it and keep you updated as things progress. Live in Chatham County, Shay Schrader, WTOC News.
Okay. So they said on a base by, or case by case or court hearing by court hearing. That's how we're going to kind of see if we hear anything, I guess. Motion filed to block prosecutors from getting journals written by a mother accused of, okay. Look at this. State responds to filings in Quinton Simon's case to throw out murder false statement charges. That ain't going to happen. Judge doesn't make any rulings on motions yet. Okay, well, we probably need to make some rulings here. We're in 2024. I was trying to see where we were. Okay, so this is where she appears in court, March 26, 2024.
Some new developments in a case that we have been covering here at WTOC since October of 2022. Today, a Chatham County mother accused of killing her young son and tossing his body in a dumpster is due back
Always saw
in
this
court.
one.
And this will be Leilani Simon's first appearance of the year.
WTOC's Shay Schrader.
This was her first appearance as she went in, after the arraignment.
Is joining us in the studio. Shay, what type of court hearing are we going to see today?
So what we're expecting to see is a motion hearing, and we do know that Simon is supposed to be at it. There has been a court order issued allowing her to wear civilian clothing to this hearing, which does indicate that she will be here. And this is the first that we will have seen of her since July of last year. Now, there's been quite a few motions filed in this case since that last hearing. The defense is asking the court to make sure that they're provided the same witness information as the state and to inspect any physical evidence in the case. They're also requesting a pretrial hearing to determine whether any statements of guilt by Simon during the course of the investigation will be allowed to use during the trial. Now, most of the motions, and there are a lot of them, mostly have to do with discovery, which is making sure that both the defense and the prosecution have access to the same evidence during the duration of the case. WTOC is going to be in the courtroom for that hearing that's at 9 a.m. today. Stick with us for the latest updates.
Okay, 9 a.m. So that was this one, I think. Or which one did we just, oh shoot, which one did we? I think it was this one we just went over.
First new developments in the legal case against a mother charged with murder.
I want to see if they had the cameras in there, but it looks like they did.
Everybody, I'm Kyle Jordan.
Now, Maria Janelle, Leilani Simon, the Chatham County mother, accused of killing her son, Quinton Simon, and putting his body in a dumpster.
And welcome in, everybody.
Today.
This morning, Shay Schrader is joining us here in the studio.
Shay, what are we expecting from this hearing?
Yeah, good morning, Aria and Kyle. There are several motions on the table that Judge Tammy Stokes is going to have to be taking a look at, including motions to block any statements of guilt made by Leilani Simon and a motion to quash the indictment altogether. Now, this motion hearing will be the latest in the case, which first started in October of 2022 when Quinton Simon was reported missing. Leilani.
Oh, there she is. She is without a face mask in this one.
Simon was arrested and charged with his murder 7 weeks later, shortly.
Well, I'll give her that. At least she's not covering her face with a mask, because have you noticed since 2020, a lot of defendants, they like to cover their face. All of a sudden, like they probably, and those are probably the people that weren't even cool with wearing a mask to begin with, but all of a sudden they're real cool with it. I mean, look at Brian Kohlberger's family, for instance. I mean, I'm just saying in general, I'm not saying like, I'm not picking on them or anything. I would want to wear a mask too, but I mean, the father had the mask up to like his eyeballs. He was like, you ain't getting me. And Squeaky, aren't you from Tennessee? Oh, wait, it's just right here. Look at that. I live in the middle of Tennessee. Because I was just thinking that a few minutes ago, and I was like, wait a minute. Are you okay, Squeaky? Why do I feel like I can see you floating down in a kayak with a bottle of bourbon or something? Saying, that's what I get for living in Tennessee. There was a guy in Florida that was like that. And I thought he was hilarious though. He's just like in his living room and he's like promoting his business. But it made me giggle because he is like, I'm scared for that guy. And it was like dark and he's in his house and he's in like so much water and he's like talking about his business. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, you probably don't have that business anymore. Like, you know what I mean? But I bet you he will be the first to rebuild because he was on TikTok. I'm sure everyone has seen that guy too. He's the guy that's like was floating around his living room in a kayak.
After the Chatham County Police Department
He said just a Florida guy doing Florida things. That's what he said.
recovered Quinton's remains from a landfill. Leilani was denied bond and has been in jail ever since. Judge Stokes has expressed that she wants to put the case to trial before the end of this year.
We have to keep in mind as well that the courthouse is going to be changing sites and location. So in the back of my mind, I know that may have some impact, but that is probably the least of the concerns. The most important thing is making sure that motions are heard and that we.
No, honey, this is your brand new courtroom you're about to get. I'd be like, shoot. This woman probably worked in this courthouse for 20-some, 30 years. You know, she
can move forward.
Get your courthouse, your courtroom.
Today's hearing is slated for 1:30 p.m. WTOC will be in the room, so make sure you stay with us for the latest updates.
Well, you
Shay
weren't.
Schrader, WTOC.
You weren't Shay Schrader because I don't see it. Maybe we just didn't see it yet. There's the court date. I was going to see, says judge denies motion to throw out parts of Leilani Simon's indictment. Well, yeah, I mean, who would do that? Oh, here she goes, appears in court. So this was August the 23rd. Let's see if we see her.
Well, thank you for joining us here on the News at 6. I'm Mike Seeley.
And I'm Dawn Baker. Accusations of relationship gone wrong and physical violence.
It's all evidence that prosecutors want used in Leilani Simon's upcoming murder trial. The mother is accused of killing her 20-month-old son, Quinton, and discarding his body in a dumpster in Chatham County. Our Flynn Snyder is live at the Chatham County Courthouse right now. And Flynn, lawyers made their arguments in front of a judge this afternoon.
Well, Mike, Don, a motion hearing wrapped up just a short time ago here at the Chatham County Courthouse. Prosecutors say this evidence will help them prove their case. Meanwhile, Simon's lawyers are pushing back, saying it's not relevant to the case and it's just being used to make their client look bad. New developments in Leilani Simon's legal troubles. Prosecutors laying out 7 exhibits of evidence they want used in her upcoming trial. They say it shows what was
there she is with the mask again.
On in the mother's life around the time of her son Quinton's death.
We have alleged that she killed her son in the middle of the night. Okay, that is a heck of a thing to say about a mother.
Prosecutor Timothy Dean introduced statements from Simon's longtime friend.
You will testify about the defendant's feelings towards Quinton's father and by extension towards Quinton.
He also asked the judge.
They're going to introduce evidence saying that Leilani hated Quinton's father, so that's why in return she hated Quinton for that. We ain't never heard that before.
To consider videos, text messages, and interviews that he says show Simon and her boyfriend at the time having relationship difficulties. Prosecutors want statements from Quinton's babysitter admitted as well.
We had some information to provide about an instance of actual physical.
Oh yeah, let's get that one.
Simon's lawyers pushed back, saying these personal details should not be admissible because they're irrelevant to the charges Simon faces.
The state's offering it just to make her look unstable and bad in front of the jury. That's all it's about. It has nothing to do with what the state has alleged. It's simply not probative of the real issues in the case.
Prosecutors doubling down.
In order to make our case, we need to be allowed to put on evidence of these intrinsic factors, things that were going on in her life at the time even if some of them might be unsavory or unfavorable to her to one degree or another.
And Judge Tammy Stokes did not make a ruling today. She did, however, rule just days ago on a separate motion in this case. That was an ask from us, Leilani Simon's lawyers, to quash some of the charges that are levied against her. The judge denied that motion, meaning all 19 counts against Leilani Simon stemming from Quinton Simon's death in 2022 will stand. The next hearing in this case is set for next month before an expected October 9th trial date. Reporting live in Savannah, Flint Snyder, WTOC News.
I'm trying to find them. I was trying to find where Billy Joel Howe like ran up through that lady's house, but I can't seem to find it. You would think you just type it in and it would come up. I wonder if they like suppress that kind of stuff. I'll have to find it. I'll have to find it, and I'll definitely have to show it to you guys because she straight like runs in this lady's house, and I would have been like, not a chance in hell would I ever let somebody come up in my house like that. But here's the gallery. Here's like, I mean, this was like some white trash stuff right here. I think they don't show it, but they show the picture of Billy outside. And the neighbors, look at the neighbors. The neighbors are even outside. But yeah, she was mad. I remember that Diana did like an interview and stuff too. But I don't see it on here. Man. Shucks. Well, I think that kind of got us caught up. I was going to go through all of these, but I don't really need to. I can just show you them. So these are just the charges that she got. I'll just kind of roll through here. If you guys, you know, you can always pause and read if you'd like to. Let me blow it up. And then it just, you know, she's malice and felony so two of those, and then concealing the death of another. And that's when she put him in the dumpster. And then reporting the false reports of a crime. I think they said 14 of those. So, and this part right here that I highlighted is the only part that's different in each one. So they all say something different. Except for like a couple of them match up to the same. So she must, I think what it was she lied to two different officers and they got her for both of them. But yeah, you got a lot of charges here, ma'am. So I guess we'll just keep I'll keep my eyes open, you know. They said that she's going to start court on October the 9th. I don't know if they're going to allow cameras inside of there. I haven't heard anything from like Court TV or Law and Crime yet. I'm sure once it gets closer to trial, I have a feeling that they'll pick up the story again, like, and cover it. I would think they would anyway, because it was such a big story. It was such a big case. As we're getting closer to the October 9th date, we'll go back and we'll go through the craziness that surrounded this case and more in depth. That way you guys could see all the shocking stuff that was like, what? Like, what is going on here, you know? Oh, good night, DM. I hope everybody's staying safe today. Okay. I was just reading the chat a little bit. Does anybody have any questions for me? Yeah, she threw all life away over a little boy. Oh, Mary Beth, you're absolutely right. We've been getting lots of rain here in Ohio. It's got to stop, right? I think it stopped. Hold on, let's see. Let's see if it finally stopped. It's nothing compared to everybody else, but I'm just not used to rain like this long. Yeah, it's not raining anymore. Wow. Looks like everything might be settling down a little bit over here. It was just really windy and like real rainy here, and I'm not used to that. It makes my body hurt, basically. I don't know how I would do in a catastrophic, like something like that. Like, I don't know, maybe I'd do okay. Tornado is okay. You're welcome, Nash Native. No, I haven't been on there today, Doodlebug, but I can. I woke up this morning. Today was a really rough day for me. I woke up this morning and I didn't feel good at all. At all, guys. So I'm gonna have Vincent help me with my Discord this week because I didn't even I could not function today. I don't know what it was. It felt like I had like a stomach bug or something. I never get sick, knock on wood. I wasn't sick, like, but I was just like really sick to my stomach. And then Araya, my dog, my baby, my oldest, she's not even in here. I forgot. I'm over here pointing at nothing. She's with her dad. She somehow, our backslider door is inviting bees inside. Like today, I'm in the bedroom and I'm like so sick to my stomach and I had a headache and it's not like me to be sick, like feeling like that, where I can't just jump up and just be me. And Vincent was like, why are there 4 bees in our house? And I'm like, what? And he's out there with the fly swatter and I'm like, what's going on? Araya loves bees. She loves to eat them. It's her jam. Like, you can't stop this dog from wanting to do it. I don't know how to stop her. I kind of started it because she saved me one time from a bee and I was like, oh, good girl, and now she thinks she has to eat them. Well, today I think she ate one and it stung her in the mouth. And so it could be really bad for dogs. And I'm reading and I'm scared and I'm like, she's shaking just a little bit. And then she went outside with Vincent and he's like, she ate a bunch of grass. And I'm like, oh, maybe that helped her stomach a little bit. Soon as he left, she got sick everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So I think she feels better. I think what she did was she ate a bee and it stung her because she didn't want to go back over where the bees were. But then when her tummy started feeling better, you could tell she was back over by the door. Like, didn't you learn your lesson? So I have to think about it, Mary Beth. I don't know what I want for my birthday. I have to think about that. I'm really not too picky. Vince would probably say, yeah, you are, but I'm really not. I'm not. I just hope I don't I hope I never feel like that like I did today. I just didn't feel good. And it's like not like me, like that's what it was. I was just like, oh. Oh, what was I say? I don't even know. Oh yeah, Nash, I would say that would be worth it. Especially after the stuff we saw. Like on Twitter and stuff. Yo, that stuff was nuts. I mean, I was looking at it before I got on the live. I'm like, stop looking at it. Like, you just can't stop because you want to get these people out of these situations. Is that? Oh my gosh. There was look at this, posted 3 days ago outside of Asheville. There are bears in the trees. Ooh.
How big those squirrels
are? Are those squirrels or not? Those are bears.
You got 1, 2, 3.
What is this? Is this really a squirrel or is this a bear? Is my eye deceiving me? And how did they get up there? I didn't think about the wildlife. Because I know North Carolina has some crazy wildlife. My grandparents used to live there. They'd have like albino squirrels. They had all the cool, they had the coolest. They had a little woodpecker. We don't get stuff like that here. Yeah, I don't like that. That breaks my heart. I see. I wouldn't. I would be climbing up the damn tree trying to get the bears down. Like, that would be me. I know. I knew that after I said that, I was like, I know they can climb trees, but it's just like, I wonder how long they've been up there. Like, I wonder if they climbed up there during the storm and all the water rose and then, well, this was 3 days ago, so I guess not.
Boy.
Look at that little guy. Look at him go. Yeah, they climbed that.
They're up above the house.
Hey, they know where it's safe. I'd follow them. Follow the bears. Hey, Mike. Hey, justice for Quinton. Absolutely. Oh, man. I hope that there was a really cute, what was it? It was on like TikTok or something, but it was on Twitter. I found it. And this guy like saved this deer, I think it was. And then like the next day, the deer brought like its little baby over to its house. And then they were like best friends after that. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. But man, they was really climbing that bad boy, weren't they? They've been walking in downtown Gatlinburg. Oh, man. That's crazy. Oh. That's why people live in Ohio, I guess. We just stay here.
Very,
you know? Because we usually don't get too much. It still sounds like it's raining out there. Yeah, all that. I don't even want to talk about that. That little doggy didn't survive. What the heavens? This is the stuff that comes up on my For You page. Wow, 73 people are unaccounted for in Unicoi. I'm probably saying that wrong. County, Tennessee. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Search and rescue teams continue to do welfare checks. Cell service is out in many areas. I mean, I couldn't even imagine. This is so sad. That's what, like, all of this stuff is going to be, like, people, like, trying to find their loved ones. Look at this. Where did I mean, I just don't understand where this all came from. Oh, well, I guess people that say Jennifer Coffendorfer worked for agriculture, she didn't. And I guess. I was just seeing if look at this. Has announced that nearly 100,000 residents may be without access to water for weeks. That's a shame. That's a shame. That's a shame. Man, it's sad, Yeah, we might have some bears somewhere around here, but they don't come and mess with me. So we cool over here. we don't have like a ton. I feel like what we have like the most of is deer. We get a lot of deer in Ohio. Like you'll just and they're like domesticated. They'll be sitting like I've seen them lay down. I never even saw a deer lay down before until I saw this deer lay down in someone's yard. Look like a lawn ornament. You know those lawn ornaments people get? They're deer, and they're like, I don't know why they put them in their yard, but they do. I do know that what's his name? Steve, SF Investigates was going out there to help search. I don't know. It's crazy. She is self-employed. One shot. She probably was. Yeah, I mean, it's the little things that people are they're missing, you know? Just like you said, like clothing, toothbrushes, you know, forget about the homes, forget about all that. But just the simple things that you need, you know, that just make you a person. You know, I know nothing makes me feel more like human and more alive to me than, you know, getting in the shower, brushing my teeth, and just like, you know, making myself feel good. And these people are not going to be able to do that for a very, very long time. I feel like where they're, you know, back in their homes and they're comfortable. I just hope there's a place to put everybody. I'm not a fan either, Faith. Especially after that dog interview. I liked her during the Caleb Harris case, though. I did like her reporting. I thought she was very gentle with the family. But other than that, you know. I can see you, Cheryl. Why wouldn't anyone see you? I wouldn't block you. You didn't do nothing. No. You didn't do nothing to make me mad. I'm just reading the chat. Okay. Well, I'm going to jump off of here. I'm going to see what all we kind of went over, and then I want to do I want to do another live over this case just before, you know, she goes to trial. I want to show you guys the insanity that went on behind the scenes. I'm trying to think of who would have the best coverage of that. I probably got some decent coverage of it myself. I have to look. I was gonna see if there's anything. On like, that's why I went to Twitter to try to find some stuff. What? Okay. I was just, I don't understand. Okay. Why does it seem like Asheville, North Carolina got hit the hardest? Is it because they're not like known to be hit hard with like flooding like that? I mean, it's unbelievable. Because, you know, people live in Florida and they have boats everywhere on people's yards. So I think it's because there's so much water still there. I was looking for my shoe, my slip on. I'm not sure how I would be able to do that. So no, I wouldn't be able to do that, Mary Beth. That would be like, I don't know how I would even set that up. I will do Discord whenever I wanted to do it today, but I really didn't feel good at all. I'm surprised I'm actually alive tonight. I'm surprised I'm actually this alive tonight. Because I was really like not feeling good at all today. The whole day. It wasn't even just like a little bit. Like normally, you know, wake up if you don't like feel good in the morning. Like you just don't, you know. No, this was all day long. I might do that maybe under like a members, but this I'm gonna stick with just like I'm gonna try to stick with, other than last night, true crime. Like on this channel. This is like, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that. I don't know. Maybe we could do like a members live, but I don't know. I don't know what you guys want. Like, I was trying to read the checks. I don't know what you guys want. No one's on there except for the mods. We don't have any mods on this channel, so there you go. We have a couple, but you know what I mean. I don't know what else there is out there for you guys. Right, where like to go to talk like. I'm not very good with that kind of stuff. I don't do social media. That's kind of bad. So I'm a content creator, but I don't really do social media at all. Like when I post on like TikTok, I literally post and I get right off. I don't even stay on because I'll just scroll all day. You'll probably find me 4 days from now scrolling still. Squeaky Bum will tell him that. So what do you see? So Microsoft app. Well, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to get together and you guys want to use an app or something to talk to each other, yeah. I just know I'm pretty sure with Discord, I can make it where it's like a private group. And that's the only difference I know. I don't know, but I don't know about the other one. So. We want Vincent to give us a speech. I should. You're welcome, country thing. I would like to do a live with Vincent too. Okay, well, I'm going to jump off here. I was just reading the chat a little more. I don't have my tabs up like I normally do. Just show you what we'll go over tomorrow. But I do want to check. I keep forgetting to do this. So Sarah Boone's trying to get like, and by the time I look it up, we'll probably have an answer. But she wants to get the confession thrown out. She said that they didn't read her Miranda rights correctly or something along those lines. I wanted to go back through and listen to that interview, just the beginning of it, and see when they read her Miranda what they actually say during it. Yeah, but I'm going to jump off of here. I will be back on tomorrow evening or tomorrow during the day. I might come on during the day. You never know. Got to work overtime over here. Got to work overtime. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful Monday. Hopefully it stops raining and the water recedes where everyone is at, because I know it's hurting my body over here in Ohio. I can only imagine you guys being down there with like metal and implants and being in that situation with all of that, medically. I know there's a lot of people that are out there right now that need help, and they need it because of medical reasons too. Like they don't need rescue just because they need rescue. They need rescue because they need it for medical reasons, electric for different, different things that people use, different machines. So hopefully weather gets better. Hopefully you guys have a good start to your week tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow sometime. Don't forget to hit the bell to get alerted. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button when you guys leave. Bye guys.